What's up, everyone? Welcome down to the vault. And me and Walt went and saw a killer movie.
A mainstream movie.
A historical war movie.
On the Veterans Day.
Weekend, yes.
Holiday weekend.
The movie was Midway.
And it was PG in 2 hours and 18 minutes.
There's this kid. He didn't think he could cut it. I figured it was just the usual jitters. I take him under my wing. He was right to be scared.
Pearl Harbor is the greatest intelligence failure in American history.
This can never happen again. I want to make it right.
At least some of the boys still want to fight.
The Japanese are planning something bigger.
So what's the target?
We believe it's Midway.
Washington disagrees.
Washington is wrong.
If we lose, the Japanese own the West Coast. Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles will burn.
We got the order to launch. We need to throw a punch so they know what it feels like to be hit.
We're talking about a couple dozen planes against a whole Japanese fleet. This isn't a fair fight. I don't know how to lead these men.
They'll follow you anywhere.
If you know that you came through when people are counting on you, you'll be able to face anything.
It was a good one, though. I liked it. And actually,
Done very well.
and it told the story really well, I think, because it kind of starts at the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Actually, it starts before that, because it talks about, they're talking to
The
1937.
intelligence officer.
Well, it talks in 1937.
Before the war.
Before the war, where he even says to him, we don't want to remain friends, And then, obviously, we got attacked on December 7th, 1941, and Pearl Harbor, and they just kicked the shit out of us. So
Surprise attack of it, and they cover that in this movie.
Yeah, they do cover that
They
in
have
this
the
movie.
attack, and after Pearl Harbor, after that being a shock, this battle was the turning point of the whole war in the Pacific against the Japanese. Now Germany was doing their thing, but
well, that was a whole different war in Europe that was going on.
But I mean,
this is the war in the Pacific,
right? And this battle was the turning point. We lost this battle. It would have taken years and years of more war to get everything back that Japan would have took if they had won, right?
Well, they covered a lot of good points on this, and I thought it moved quite well. There was a lot of, obviously in the office talking with all the lieutenants and the generals. There's that story buildup that goes on, but it was also balanced.
Intelligence was a big part of this. Military
but I mean, it was also balanced with a lot of war scenes, like a lot of movie like this.
How about the way it was shot, though? Huh?
Great
That's
cinematography.
Great,
go
and
see
then
this in
the
movies.
way they used the film or something, it looked like an old film, but with modern CGI. So you felt like it was the time period. And the uniforms and everything were like real cotton, and they weren't polished.
It
like
looks really good.
everything.
The visual was really good. The acting was done.
How about
really
there's some
good.
big actors in this: Dennis Quaid and Ed Skrein and Patrick Wilson, Woody Harrelson, Luke Evans, Mandy Moore. I could go on. There's a lot of historical.
Yeah, one of the Jonas
Factual.
brothers was in there too, right?
Right. So you had, Admiral
He gets
Yamamoto and Narumi, and you had
Sorry, spoilers.
Jimmy Doolittle and Admiral Halsey, and you had Wade McCluskey, the intelligence guy, and Admiral Nimitz, and Woody Harrelson.
Just really
was
interesting
incredible.
how it tells the story, and then at the end of the movie, kind of tells what they were doing, how they did it, kind of.
And then where they went.
And what they did after, and shows them a real picture of them. So not much that I can tell you how the ending is. Obviously, this is a historical movie. It's not like I'm spoiling anything for you. If you knew how the Battle of Midway ended, of course, Zetro's Toxic Vault can't change that, or we might. But it's not like I'm spoiling anything for you. But I think if top to bottom, it was done really well.
It's a big box office hit right now, too,
If
right?
you're an American, it makes you proud to watch this and see how, the Army and the Navy pulled together, and the intelligence came in, and they went off of a hunch and just shot from the hip, and they got really close
Because they were outnumbered and outmanned.
they were outnumbered, outmanned, but they were ready for the battle. And when they came in, they amped.
And the Japanese thought it was going to be a surprise.
They thought it was a surprise, and the Japanese were surprised. So I'd say, all in all, a really, really,
Maybe
really.
this will make people read about the actual thing. There's lots of things you could read about.
Well, that's the thing. It's like now
very
you can go see.
interesting.
It'd be good is go see a documentary, because there's many of them on the internet, on Netflix, on Amazon, about this, and then go see the
YouTube's
movie.
Good ones too.
And
you were mentioning this is actually the second Midway movie. There's another one, an older one.
there was
classic,
one. Remember
right?
in the '70s, in Sense Around Midway with Charlton Heston. It had but Glenn Ford, Charlton Heston, Steve McQueen. It had all the major actors from that era in it. Remember the movies back in the '70s, like Earthquake, in Sense Around. Well, Midway was in Sense Around, but in that movie, there was just so much going back and forth, and they didn't get to the battle till the end, which obviously happens
And
in
the
this movie.
technology
But they had
wasn't
other
there at
stuff.
the time, right?
Well, you didn't know any better. I'm a 12-year-old kid going to see it. So, anyway, I'm going to give it this one 2 in a row, huh, Walt? I sent you to 2 in a row that kick ass, huh?
Yes, it was very good for a mainstream Hollywood weekend.
Which we're
movie.
not big on mainstream Hollywood movies.
I'm surprised you sent me to this.
We
You
won't be
surprised
seeing
me.
Charlie's Angels. I can guarantee you that we will not be seeing
I agree, but I'm pretty surprised how you're branching out a little bit. So I like it. I think they like it. You can't.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What's relevant in today's world is what we're doing.
Well, I like this one because when I was in school, the few times that I was in school, I did like history class, and I liked stuff like this. It was interesting to me, especially the war aspect of it all. I love the
Everyone
wars.
likes a drama, action movie, historical. Every time to time too. It's not like everything you can see is science fiction and horror and whatever, but a good drama.
I was
action
entertained
movie.
thoroughly
Very
with this
good.
movie.
Yeah.
I was entertained thoroughly.
And we got a pin, right?
Yeah, I got the pin. I don't know. It's
It's
somewhere.
the Midway pin that you
Yeah.
get if you're in the Regal Club.
If you're in the Regal Clubs, we've talked about that, being in the Regal Club.
So it's a cool little thing to get something from the
It
movie.
is a cool.
And yeah, done well.
What else do we have on this, Walt?
Well, I think, like I said, you got to go back and maybe look at a little bit of history to
Yeah,
really
that's
get
fun.
into
That
it.
would be fun.
But
because
this
then
is
you
a
go
good
into it.
movie if you don't know nothing
Even
about
if you don't know shit, you'll learn it about it and want to go research it after.
Acting's
That's what
very
it
good.
made me want. Yes.
Yeah, the acting's
top
very good.
line, top line. This is a good flick. Very, very much so. Good
I
weekend.
remember you calling me, right? I was walking out of a theater and you were calling me to tell me how good you thought this
Yeah,
was. So
great
that's
movie.
great.
Definitely a great movie. So
Go see it.
anyway, you guys leave me comments. I know you will.
You're 2 for
Subscribe
2
to my
this weekend.
channel. I'm 2 for 2. Gotta love that. And we'll see you in the vault for the next movie review when something killer next comes out. I don't know. Rise of Skywalker, isn't that coming
Knives
out?
Out is a,
Knives Out, that's coming out. There's some other shit coming out.
Oh yeah,
too.
the Irishman's come out.
Oh yeah, on
27th.
Netflix got us. So we'll be doing these. So anyway, you guys see you in the vault next time.